Hey guys, it's Roberto. So recently I've been doing some videos that a lot of you have responded to really well. The freelancing series and being able to take some control of your income or build a side hustle has been something a lot of you have told me personally you appreciate. But today's video is going to tie to that, but it's going to be a little bit different. Today's video is going to be about what to do when you've been fired. Lately, you've heard me focus a lot on the idea that there isn't a such thing as job security. As an entrepreneur, this is something that is very much a part of my narrative and something I'm very passionate about, because the reality is that if you get fired, all the stability and job security that you've built your identity around goes away. If you're fired, not only do you lose an income, but you feel like you've been stripped of your identity. And I want to give you some advice on how you can transition and adjust and deal with these things and continue to make an income, move on possibly to the next job. It may not be that everyone starts a business or becomes an entrepreneur like me. That's fine. But I also think that freelancing can be great whether you're still at a job and you need a side hustle for extra income, or you need to do this as you transition and look for more permanent work, because at the end of the day, you still need something coming in so you can take care of yourself or take care of your family. So today, I'm gonna give you the best advice I have on what to do if you've been fired. And at the end of the video, I'm also gonna give you some advice in case you haven't been fired, but you feel like something may happen to your job. If you feel that there's a possibility you could be fired, but it hasn't happened yet, or that the company might downsize. If you're someone who's older in this community and you feel like you might be pushed out of your job for one reason or another, you'll want to stay tuned to the end of this video, because I'm going to help you prepare just in case things start looking like they're going to go sideways. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, first of all, welcome and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur with a social media coaching business. I'm also a public speaker, and I'm someone who actually came from the world of freelancing. I did a video where I talked about going from broke to making six figures, and I talked a lot about my background and how I got where I am today. And this video is in many ways no different. On a long enough timeline, there's the distinct possibility that you are going to be fired, and a couple of things are going to happen. You need to be able to deal with the self-esteem hit, number one, and number two, you need to move to making income again so you can provide for yourself or for your family. And so I'm going to give you some of my advice on how to transition, because this may feel horrible right now, and a lot of you have written me emails or DM'd me about this topic or mentioned it in the comments of some of these other videos that we've done on freelancing or making money online and things of that nature. And I want you to really take this to heart, because I want you to protect yourself and I want you to protect your income and your family's stability. So let me move into at least 5 things I know you should immediately do if you get fired. And I'm going to go into detail. And then we're going to talk about what you can do leading up to that could help you just have more stability right now. One of the first things you need to do if you've been fired or laid off is to immediately update your presence in LinkedIn, or if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, which is very hard for me to imagine in 2018, 2019, but okay, if you don't, you need to get on that. LinkedIn is a resource for job creators, recruiters, and people looking for someone who has your abilities, skills, and expertise. So you having a presence in LinkedIn, keeping it updated, and engaging in that platform is going to allow you to be able to access those opportunities and let people who are looking for someone like you with everything you have to offer and your experiences, that's where they're gonna look to find those people if they're not already in their network of personal contacts. You know, if they're not somebody within arm's reach or somebody that they already have a phone number for, they're gonna go to LinkedIn to find those people. You need to be there, so show up. Number 2, this one's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. You need to immediately, and I mean immediately, clean up your online presence. Your social media, you need to scrub that thing down, sanitize it, wash it in 5 bottles of bleach, whatever you gotta do. Let me be even less vague about that. Any references to politics, delete them, get rid of them if you need a job right now. It's not worth it to alienate a potential employer or to make them think that you're somehow in any way a liability. Employers and business people are risk adverse. I know, but just get rid of the politics. Scrub it from your social media if you need a job tomorrow. Also, anything that you think remotely is unprofessional, if there are pictures of you, maybe drinking or at a bar, you might want to consider whether you hide those or private those. You may want to even, private some of your profiles during your job search and just deal with that later. Lock it down to friends or family. You can make the argument that these things shouldn't matter, but I don't feel you want to make that argument when it's just the easier way to secure new employment if people are going to do a search on you in Google. So I would do that. I also recommend that you do a search on Google and you look yourself up and see what's coming up, and you try to see if there's content that you want to remove or take down, because if it doesn't exist, then the references to it kind of go away. So just kind of look into those things, look yourself up and see how you present to a potential employer if they did a Google search on you. So put in your name and your state, or put in your name and your city and see what comes up. Number 3, you immediately need a source of revenue or income of some kind. Now, there are people who will take this opportunity if they can afford it and they have savings to say, you know what, I'll start that business that I always wanted to and that I was putting off. That's okay for some people. Not everyone's going to be in that position. I recommend that you forgo any pride and vanity and you look for freelance opportunities or even temporary work, even if it pays less than what you're used to, because it's better than zero. So if you don't get enough in terms of unemployment, or you don't qualify for it for whatever reason, this is what you immediately are going to need to do. And if you are looking for how to make money using freelancing and offering those services, I have tons of videos here on the channel, and I'm going to actually link to my video on how to get started as a freelancer so that you can do that, get going, get your first clients if you need to, because it's the only way I can tell you that you can immediately start making money. Making money with an online business takes time, and it's not something you're going to be able to do overnight, but freelancing is literally a hand-to-mouth kind of deal, for better or for worse. So you could actually start making money freelancing within a week. So I would do that, or less potentially, just depending on what position you're in. But I would definitely recommend that you prioritize revenue generating activities and making money first and foremost immediately if you lose your job. Number 4, reach out to real world contacts and also get testimonials and letters of recommendation. Go ahead and have these, and you really want these for LinkedIn especially, because that's a lot of where people in the recruitment space or employers are going to be looking. So make sure that you have those things consolidated so that there are people to recommend you. As for those real world contacts, they might be in a position to tell you that there's an opportunity or make an introduction for you, kind of like walk you through the door to a new job opportunity right away. So I would take a look at that and see if they can help you. I would also start to talk to those real world contacts about the circumstances of you leaving the company and see how you can present that. What is the framing of how you ended up in the position to be looking for new employment and new opportunities. So you want to kind of have your story straight, your narrative, and know what you're going to say, your side of things are when it comes to leaving. Also, there's a possibility that if you've been fired, depending on the circumstances, that you may not be able to use your previous employer as a reference. And this is why I keep insisting that you build a personal brand, which I'll get to later. But in the event that you've been fired, you're not only stripped of some of your agency and your ability to produce income and that identity, but also of your body of work if you're not in a position to use that as a reference or as part of your legitimacy. So that's why I believe having an independent body of work in the form of your personal brand, having relationships and industry contacts that are not directly tied to your position in the company is valuable, because you own that work and you own those relationships on your own merit and not through association with the company and their brand. So you need your own credibility. But part of having a real world network of relationships and contemporaries in the industry is valuable, because they can help you with that transition and help you understand the framing or make those introductions to you if you have to borrow from their credibility because you may not have enough independent of the company. This is a big deal, and it's something we'll cover in other videos in the future. So you might want to subscribe and hit notifications, because there's a lot of videos on this channel. A lot of it is how to build your personal brand in your body of work, and it's also how to develop skills that are high paying whenever you need a job opportunity. And finally, tip number 5, don't get discouraged. I know that this could seem like your world is crumbling around you, but at the same time, it could also be the best thing that happened to you. If you weren't happy in your job or your position, then maybe you get to move to a new job and a new environment where you're appreciated more or even paid more. If you did love your work and you loved your job, well, you have your skills. Those can't be taken away from you, and you have your experiences. Can you put and apply those to something else or to a new company where you'll also have great experiences and where you'll love what's going on day to day? So like I would say, don't get discouraged. This is not the end. It's only the beginning. This is a new chapter, and it's just your responsibility to do everything in your power to make it better than the last one. And there are tons of things that I've done here on the channel that can help you with that. But if you need encouragement, I would say reach out to the community here and the community within your industry. There are people who will want to support you, and I think that there's opportunity and upside if you're looking for it. Just don't be so hard on yourself, and don't abuse yourself just because this is something that happened to you one way or the other. So now we've covered some things you should immediately do if you've been fired, and I'll talk about more of these things in other videos specifically. There are some things you could do before this ever happens that would just set you up to where being fired doesn't feel like the world is crashing down around you or like the sky is falling. So let's talk about a few of those things really quickly before the end of the video. I would encourage everybody in the modern era to create multiple revenue streams and ideally some form of passive income. And I know some of you don't want to believe in passive income, but it is real, and it's not about doing no work. It's about really smart work that has a consistent return that doesn't require consistent effort all the time. For me, I believe that affiliate marketing is one that a lot of people could get into, especially if they have expertise in something. If you're a practitioner in an industry or an enthusiast in anything, I think affiliate marketing could be good for you. I'm going to link to a step-by-step video on affiliate marketing here and in the description down below for you. So you can click that info card or the description and you'll get that video if you want to get started with that. Great way to make passive income. And I think that that could help you because having some money coming in, even if you get fired, is better than zero money coming in when it inevitably happens. So just kind of think about that. Tip number 2 on this, keep an eye out for new opportunities in your industry. Constantly be aware of new job opportunities, new openings, who the players are so you can move on to another job. This has been essential to friends of mine who've been able to immediately move into a new job in their industry, often times that were better paying, because the reality is when they first got into that career or that job, they didn't negotiate as strongly because they were new. And now that they are free agents again, they can actually have a body of work and a background that allows them to compete. And so they're a little bit more ruthless and strong in how they negotiate their salary. So it actually works out that they make a lot more, or that they're offered a lot more. But you have to be aware of those opportunities and just make sure that you're never acting from a place of true desperation. Tip number 3, this one is somewhat repetitive to the first one, but keep your social media presence clean. That way you don't have to scrub it down and sanitize it in an emergency. The best course of action, I think, is if it's associated with your real name, your real face, or don't take for granted, in my opinion, don't take for granted that you can be identified somehow or that this account can be tied back to you. So don't make a fake account, don't make a troll account. I would say that if you value your livelihood in any way, just keep your social media clean. That's just my personal advice on that. Number 4 ties directly back into that. Build your personal professional brand. If you build a personal professional brand and you're doing something in the industry, as long as it's non-competitive with your contract or it's not something that your boss is going to fire you over, then the good news is that when something happens to you, you're relevant in your industry, you're known, you're a name that's in people's mouth, and it won't be hard for you to find people that want to give you new opportunities or that can vouch for you or already are familiar with your work. So I would say that building a personal professional brand is great, and that obviously you can monetize that, and that could help you diversify your revenue streams and just helps you have ownership of your skills and of your work, because that's something that shouldn't be able to be taken from you. It could feel that way though if everything for you is wrapped up in the employer and in the company and their brand. Number 5, learn new skills in your free time, even if they're not related to the job you're doing right now. Having new skills, especially if they're high paying skills, means that if the opportunity arises, you can have a way to make money by trading in on those skills. If your contract happens to have a non-compete, even if you're fired or if you have to quit or something like that, if there's something that would prohibit you from doing the work that you've done all of this time, having a high-paying skill in something else so you can move to another industry and make money right away is extremely valuable, and it means that you just have less to worry about. So this is a way that you can protect yourself and protect your income. Number 6, you don't have to be fired or in danger of losing your job for this one, and this is the last one. Save money much more aggressively. I would like everyone to start thinking about this and save their money a lot more aggressively. 60% of Americans, I think I looked up a statistic that says 60% of Americans don't have $1,000 in savings, 80% of Americans don't have $10,000, and that is scary. So prioritize saving a lot more. If you can, my recommendation is save more than 20% of your income, if at all possible. It might seem like a lot, but cut down expenses, do what you have to do. The other thing I should say that you would need to look into, because a friend brought this to my attention, is find out if your 401k is transferable when it comes to your job. Because you want to find out that if you're fired, has the money that you've put into your retirement savings through the job and the employer, what happens to that? And if they did point matching and they were contributing, what happens to that money for your security and for your future with regard to your retirement? This is something a lot of people just aren't asking themselves as they defend the glorious 9-to-5 regular stable job income. I would say that everyone needs to take control of their finances, and part of that is taking control of your retirement. There are benefits to doing that with an employer. Less employers are offering things like this anyway now, so take control of this, look into it, protect yourself, protect your money, you worked for it. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I know it's a little bit different than what I would normally do, but I felt it was important. I wanted to talk about it. I think this ties directly into why I talk about personal branding, marketing yourself, building online income or an online business, or at least a side hustle for Christ's sakes, and of course freelancing, because I think on a long enough timeline there's a chance that you could be fired. I think it's happened to everybody at least once in their career if they've actually worked more than a few years. And so what do you do about that? That's why I wanted to talk about why I think it's important. It ties into money, mindset, and marketing, like I always say. So that's why I did today's video, and I hope you got some value from it. I hope you think that this can help you. And if you have advice or tips for anybody about what they should do if they happen to get fired or they need to leave their job or change jobs, then please leave those comments down for them below and be as encouraging and positive as you can, because I know this is a difficult topic and something that people might be struggling with. Question of the day: have you ever been fired from a job, and how did you get your new job after that happened? I'd love to see that conversation in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff here on the channel. Plenty of videos to help you in case you get fired. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.